Good morning, children. Let us start a new chapter, soil. Soil is an important natural resource. Coming to importance of soil, soil help in growth of plants by holding the root and supplying water and nutrient to the plants. Soil is essential for agriculture, which provide us food, clothing and shelter. Soil is a habitat of several organisms like ant, earthworms, snails, centipedes, millipedes, snakes, rats, beetle, etc. Many animals lives inside or on the soil. You can see the habitat of many animals is the soil. Centipede, snail, slug, millipede, carpenter ant, soil protozoans, soil bugs. Many are there. Uppermost part of the atmosphere or earth is known as soil. Lithosphere upper part is known as soil. So we are polluting these natural resources. So sources of what is soil pollution? Soil pollution is caused by plastics, chemical, pesticides and other waste products. Now, how we can reduce this soil pollution? By avoiding the use of plastic. You might be knowing governments are putting the efforts on banning the plastic everywhere, treating the waste and chemicals before releasing into the soil. We must treat our chemicals or waste, whatever been released from the industries or from the household before mixing it with the soil. Reducing the use of pesticides. Agriculture feeds, they are using so many of the pesticide which is polluting the soil itself. So by going for the organic farming, we can reduce the use of pesticides. Afforestation means planting more tree can reduce the soil pollution. To know about the layers of soil, let us do one activity. Take a glass tumbler, fill it with 3/4 with water. Add a handful of soil in a glass tumbler. Stir it well with a glass rod and leave it undisturbed for some time. You can see different layers of particle of different sizes. The rotting dead part of animals or plants is at the top is the humus layer, humus. Below it are the layers of clay, sand and gravel. When we dig the earth crust, we get different layers of soil. So, a vertical section through different layers of soil is called soil profile. The layers are called horizons. Each layer is different in texture, color, chemical composition. So, you can see very clearly in this picture, A horizon or topsoil, B horizon, C and bedrock. A horizon is the uppermost layer of the soil. It is called topsoil. It is dark in color and rich in humus, dead remains of plants and animals. It provides nutrients to the plant. It is soft, porous and retain more water. B horizon is a second layer. It is having less humus content but has more minerals, and it is harder and more compact. C horizon is the third layer. It is made up of small lumps of rocks, small rocks, and it is in the lowermost layer. It is known as bedrock, made up of very hard rocks. We'll talk about the formation of soil and types of soil. Now, formation of soil is how soil is formed. It is formed by breaking down of the parent rock or big rocks into smaller particle by action of wind, water and climate. And this process is called weathering. So we can say soil is mixture of rock particles and humus. You can see the parent rock in the first pic, then it is gradually becoming porous and gradually breaks down due to action of wind, water and climate. So difference in the temperature, pressure, all makes the cracks in the parental or big rocks, and gradually they becomes the smaller pieces. Then the plants and all grow, also loosen the hard rock, and gradually due to process of weathering the soil forms. It takes millions of years to form a very small layer of soil. Now, talking about types of soil, there are mostly three main types of soil. They are sandy soil, clay soil, and loamy soil. First, let us see sandy soil. In sandy soil, the particles are large in size. You might have seen sand. They have more space between the particles filled with air, means air can be trapped between the two particles. They do not retain water. When you will pour the water in the sand, you cannot see the water on the above part. It will be percolated inside. So they do not retain the water and they are light and dry. Second is the clay soil. In clay soil, the particles are very small. They have less space between the particles and less air is trapped between them. They retain more water and become very heavy and wet. And finally is the loamy soil. In loamy soil, the particle size is between those of sand, means smaller than sand particle and larger than the clay particles. It contains humus. It has the right water holding capacity. So it is best suited for the growth of plants. So loamy soil is used in the or it is mostly present in the agriculture field and it is most suitable for the growth of plant. We will talk about the percolation rate of water. Percolation means penetration rate of water in the soil. How fast water passes through the soil. So water percolates faster in sandy soil and slower in the clay soil. We can do one activity. Take a PVC pipe about 20 centimeter long and 5 centimeter approximately diameter. Place it about 2 centimeter in the ground. Pour 200 ml water slowly into it and note the time taken for the water to percolate. The rate of percolation can be calculated by using formula. Rate of percolation is equal to amount of water you have poured by percolation time. Soil particles are surrounded by water. So we can say soil contains moisture. The amount of moisture is different in different types of soil. Clay soil contains most moisture and sandy soil contains least moisture. We can also see it through one activity. Take some soil in a boiling tube and fix it to the stand. Heat the soil with the burner. Drop of water are formed in the boiling tube. The water from the soil evaporates and condenses in the inner wall of the boiling tube. This shows that soil contains moisture. Now, absorption of water by the soil. Soil absorbs water. All of you agree? Now, clay soil absorbs most of the water and sandy soil absorbs least water. So, one activity we can do, take a funnel, fold a filter paper and keep it in the funnel. Weigh 50 gram dry soil and pour it in the funnel. Measure a certain amount of water in a measuring cylinder. Now pour it drop by drop all over the soil till it starts dripping. Subtract the amount of water left in the measuring cylinder from the original amount which you have dripped. This is the amount of water absorbed by the soil. And calculate the percentage of water absorbed by the soil. Now, what we have to do is, we have to calculate, we know weight of soil is 50 gram you have taken. Initial volume of water, U ml, whatever you have taken in the dropper. Final volume of V ml means whatever the left out is there, means in the measuring cylinder. So final volume of water absorbed by the soil is V, whatever you have taken in dripper, minus V, whatever left in the cylindrical final volume, U minus V ml. So percentage of water absorbed by particular soil is U minus V by 50, because you have taken 50 gram of soil into 100. This is percentage, that's why you have to multiply it with the 100. Now soil is of different types, so different crops are grown in different types of soil. Different crops get different nutrients from different types of soil, because you have seen the water retaining capacity, the mineral present, the nutrient present. So whatever it is required by different plant, so they are provided by different types of soil. Like clay and loamy soil are suitable for wheat and pulses. Wheat and pulses, they fix nitrogen and all. Clay soil contain organic matter, is suitable for growing paddy also. Clay soil retain water much, and paddy or rice require much of the water. So maximum capacity of holding water is in the clay soil. So paddy grow nicely in the clay soil. Sandy and loamy soils are suitable for growing cotton. So in Gujarat and Maharashtra, you can see the soil quality is of loamy and sandy. So cotton is very common in our state.